Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Paul, Vintage Sports Card Finds, and today I went over to the flea market and I found some stuff. Nothing of any real major consequence, but certainly not for my vintage folks. But I did find this. This is an 85 Topps baseball starter set. Got a great price on that. It has 780 of the 792 cards in it. As I've explained before on the channel, this is basically the last Topps baseball set that people actively sort of collect or buy partials of because there is a real desire for that set. The other thing I bought was this 1991 Topps football set in the box. It's not complete, but I got it for $5. So there's some cards missing. I'm going to compare it to the cards I have already. This is more of a personal collection type thing as I try to build the run of Topps football sets that are out there. What I did buy today, probably the biggest purchase I made, was a $30 box. This $30 box is of modern basketball, and it's all star players. Again, this kind of goes back to how I buy modern basketball. I love buying modern basketball. It's fun. I buy it in lots and whatnot, but it's not, I never pay a lot for it. I just don't, because there's no real, there's not really a lot of, I think you're taking a big risk when you buy modern basketball, especially if you're paying a lot of money for it. So as it turns out, there was 150 cards in this lot. There's a lot of duplication in it, but it had some cool stuff. And some key players, but it's really, really modern. Probably what most people would consider ultra modern. So it's like Kawhi Leonard. So I ended up paying, just to give you an idea, I ended up paying roughly 18 cents per card on this. So I'll buy this in lots if I can buy it like this. So these are all Kawhi Leonard cards. So 75 years of the NBA. My house. These are all Kawhi Leonard cards. You know, none of them are rookie cards or anything like that. There's some parallels mixed in. I don't know much about the parallels, but what I'll do is I'll sell any duplicates like this for a couple of bucks on eBay and see if I can move them that way. This is Optic Kawhi Leonard. This is from, all of these are the 2020s, basically. 2020, 2021. So there's nothing here of any consequence when it comes to these type of players. But I figured it was worth a shot and take a gamble on it. If anybody needs any of these cards that you see that are duplicates, you can feel free and message me, because I'm just going to post them on eBay. So like in this case here, as an example, there's 5 of these Kawhi Leonards. I'll just keep one and sell the other 4. So if I might do it in lots. I might do it on a card-by-card basis. But these are all 20. It looks like all 2020, 2021 type cards. So if you're putting, if you're like an avid collector of certain players, then this could be a nice way to sort of pick up cards. Karl Anthony Towns, these I think are parallels. Yeah, these are parallels. So these are Prism, and these might have some more value because they're, you know, I don't know if this is cracked ice or whatever, but you know, you guys can fill me in the comments, especially those of you who are more modern card collectors. I've mentioned it before on the channel that the stuff that I like where the NBA is now. Probably this is the most I've enjoyed the NBA since probably the 90s, because I think there's so much skill in the NBA right now, scattered throughout the league. So that's an optic. There's a couple of examples there. So what I'll do is a lot of these I'll probably put in lots and sell them that way. It'll be the easiest way to sell and recoup the money. But if you guys are looking for a particular player, you know, you can reach out to me and we can sort of go from there. This next star player was recently. I thought this was a kind of a good investment today because these are Bradley Beal cards, and we know Bradley Beal was just involved in a trade. I think he's headed to the Suns. So there's a variety of Bradley Beal cards here. And again, these are all 2021, 2022 type cards. Chronicles. This again is a parallel of some sort. And I'll have to sort of look into what I'm keeping and what I'm not keeping. But like obviously you see here, there's 4 of these. So I'll sell these either individually or as a lot to just recoup the money. And then I get to keep whatever cards I want. Bradley Beal's probably hot right now only because that seems to be how this market goes. When there's a trade or movement of a player, they sort of, you know, get hot for a minute. So there's Bradley Beal again. And you have a bunch of those select. So again, this is 2021, 2022 Panini. You got another Express Lane Bradley Beal from Optic. So this looks like a parallel. And then this looks more like a base type of card. Then you have, you know, a couple more parallels. The green. This looks like a cracked ice. And then you have some of the others here that are base. So that's the Bradley Beal. Had a good chunk of Bradley Beal cards in there. This was another reason why I picked up this lot was Giannis. So I always like getting the opportunity to pick up Giannis cards. But again, all of these are really, 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 really modern cards of Giannis. We'll look them over. We'll sort of see if I have any of these. Like this card right here, I'll probably, there's 2 of them, so I'll sell one right away. Thunder Lane. I just like Giannis as a player. I think he's a solid, just all-around great player. And I think he's going to have a long, long, long career in this league because he plays all the time. I would compare Karl Anthony Towns to Giannis, except Karl Anthony Towns is always getting hurt. And that's just the major tragedy of his career. I think what we're going to remember about Karl Anthony Towns is that he just missed. He's going to end up missing a lot of games. His skill is unquestioned, but he's going to end up missing a lot of games in the long run. So I was really glad to pick up that Giannis slot. Let's see what else we got here. Some big lot of Paul George cards. So he's sort of at the end, Paul George, but again, another parallel. National Pride. A couple of optic Paul Georges and a Paul George parallel optic. And then you got a few here, prisms. Paul George Revolution. So I mean, there was enough duplication here where I think I'll be able to put some of these for sale and hopefully make my money back quickly. And if not, we'll see. But here's Paul George, a bunch of cards of his. Select. Paul George. Frequent flyers. Don't know what the market is on Paul George right now. He's been missing a lot of time recently with injuries as well. This guy has also missed some time with injuries, but had a nice finish to the end of the last season. So you got Anthony Davis of the Lakers. So there were some cards of his mixed in. So, and I like buying star lots of modern cards because if I end up finding a good chunk of a set, then I don't have to chase the stars and they don't become expensive or prohibitive because, quite frankly, at that point, you have them. And like I said, I picked these cards up for just a hair under 19 cents a card. So Zion Williamson, another parallel here, Zion, another Zion card here. So none of these are rookie. This is a shimmer or orange or whatever they call these things. So a few Zions here. So see if we can sell some of those. Zion here, Zion. This is a playbook Zion, also Panini, and a Donruss Zion Magicians. So again, I use Zion probably unfairly that I pick on Zion a little bit, but I use Zion as a way of sort of making a point that when you buy modern cards, you really have to try to buy cheap. And the reality is you're not going to hit on a lot of big, you're not going to have a lot of big hits. But by the same token, you may get some. And if you can buy some parallels cheap, then you're all right. DeMar DeRozan, got a few here, a couple of optics. All right. And another one, this one here is a bang, DeMar DeRozan. So I use Zion as an example because he's probably the most recent example. And you have to be very careful when you buy this stuff because people are paying, or at least up until about a year ago, were paying a lot of money for these cards. A year or two ago, they were paying a lot of money for these cards, and you're really going to have a trouble getting that money back. But if you can invest into modern cheap, then I think it's a good play. Just like if you can invest in a modern of any sport cheap, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're investing into modern at a very big number, then you're going to have some trouble. You're playing, I guess, a dangerous game. And really, card collecting shouldn't be a dangerous game. It should be, kind of it should be fun. Bottom line. So you got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, of course, just beat the Celtics in Game 7, so that was kind of a sad moment for me. But, of course, Jimmy Butler, good player, very good player. And there's a number of different variety of cards of his here. Optics. So there's a number of Jimmy Butler cards. So he's certainly a coveted player. And then, some of these reprint cards that they make of Magic Johnson that they include in these sets. So this is another parallel right here. Of course, none of these cards are numbered, but they're silver or orange, And, I might do these in lots, Magic Johnson lots or something like that, or sell them as individual cards. We'll see. But that's basically the group of cards I bought, 158 different modern basketball. I do love modern basketball because, again, I just truly enjoy the league right now because of the amount of skill that is loaded throughout the league. And you can sort of see it because you're not getting a lot of repeat champs. You know, you had the Lakers a few years ago, and then you had Denver this year, and you had Milwaukee, and you had, you know, Golden State last year. And there's just a lot of really good talent throughout the league. So I want to thank you guys for watching. We're over 200 subscribers, so that's always a huge hit for you guys. I really appreciate you subscribing. For those of you who are always looking for this channel to do vintage, I do primarily focus on vintage, but I do like to encompass the whole world of card collecting as a whole. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks so much for all the comments, the thumbs up, and everything else. That's it for now, and as always, happy hunting. Thanks, guys. Bye.